the same 24 hours. When I'm in your presence, I'm empowered, yeah. Let your blessings rain on me like showers. Go to sleep, wake up, spend my mornings with you, giving you the praises through good and bad days.
Hello, my loves, and welcome to another episode of Nene's Notions. My name is Nene, and welcome back to my show where we talk, laugh, grow, and talk with your girl, Nene. Without further ado, let's get into today's notion for today. All right, y'all. So, my notion for today is that you want someone to open up, but first, learn to be open. Subtopic to that is breaking down the wall. If you want someone to break down their wall and talk to you emotionally, confide in you, you have to be willing to be open and not be so willing to, I would say, don't bypass, or shut down their feelings so quick. What I mean by that is a little bit of example. So I've been seeing, like I said, I've been seeing in many different shows, many different situations of how there are, say for instance, like a parent. Like a lot of people confide in, you have friends, family, your parents. Some people confide. I'm saying that word right. Confide in their parents. Yep, talk to their parents. Talk to their parents, about how they're feeling, their emotional state, just things throughout, maybe just ask about how their day is going, just seeing how they feel, what they're feeling within their job, friendships, work, get advice from their parents or other family members or friends. But mainly, I would say parents, because there's a lot of people that have parents or certain family members that they talk to, that they always be like, hey, I need someone to talk to, I'm feeling this way, can I talk to you? But there are some family members and are some parents that that just don't want to be open, and that shut down their child or any family members feeling so quick, and just bypassing and be like, well, get over it. Anyways, let's move on from that, anything like that. But how do you expect someone to be wanting to be so open with you and talk to you if you're not willing to be open, if you're not willing to be that shoulder for them to cry on, or that listening ear that they need at the time, or a person that they can come to for advice, support, love? Because I use parents as an example because I've seen so many different instances of where many parents cry out to their kids for saying, hey, be open to me, you can come to me, you can talk to me about anything, when really, like, it's just like sometimes, dude, your kids don't want to come up to you because maybe you're the person that either, number one, there could be kids that maybe like feel like they don't know how you're going to react, one, or you just bypass what they say, shut it down, and not address how they're feeling in that moment. Because I seen, and y'all know I use the Karama show a lot because I love his show. But there's been some mothers that's like, their kids are trying to like talk to them and confide in them about how they're feeling, their emotional state, certain traumas that they've been through, stuff that they've gone through emotionally, mentally, physically, traumas that happened when they were children, and now it still affects them when they're grown up, and they're trying to talk to their now that they're grown, they're trying to talk to their parents about it, and their parents just be like, well, anyways, shut that down, let it go. But you have to understand, it's still affecting them, it's still weighing on them. And if you try to figure out, what's going on, why they're acting this way, why are, many different things going on, why are they acting like they're not a person that I don't know, maybe if you just sit back and you just listen and not be so quick to bypass your child's feelings or how they feel, you would be better standing in communication. Because I would say, for example, with me and my mom and I, like I say all the time, my mom and I have a great relationship. My mom means the world to me. She's my day one, my number one, my best friend. I love my mom to the moon and back. Like, legit, me and my mom have conversations, continuous conversations, about well, when I was younger, I looked at it, I was the person where I felt like when I was younger, I didn't want to go up to my mom because I felt like what was going to be her reaction. My mom was always that person that was open. Always would say, Nina, come up to me, tell me anything, talk to me about anything. But me, in my younger mindset, I was just like, I don't want to tell my mom about XYZ because I feel like she would react XYZ when me not even trying or being open. But now that I'm older and now I'm in this whole journey and growing in my adulthood, I'm growing in college, everything like that. Now me and my mom, we have even more deeper communications. Like we talk like, certain times during the week, but mainly Sundays is our time where we like talk, where she checks on me and she'd be like, well, Nina, what's going on? How's school? How's work? What productions you got coming up? XYZ, this, that, and the third. She's talking to me about where I want to transfer to. Now this is my last year at PG, where I want to transfer to, what I need to do to get all my things in order, everything like that. Like, she speaks to me about financials, she speaks to me about everything, all these different things that she's talking to me about, is going to help me as I grow in my adulthood. And one thing that my mom said that really stuck out to me, and I had to tell her right off the bat, Mom, take that out of your head, is that when we were having a conversation on the phone and I was talking to her about different things, how to not overwhelm myself with a lot of things, not to pack too much on my plate. My mom speaking to me, about financials and me being willing to have, financial management and how I could go forward in, my financials and different advice that she can give me, because she was where I was, she was my age at one point, so she had to learn how to navigate with it. So, but one of the things she said was like, Nina, I don't want you to feel like that I'm lecturing you. I don't want you to feel like that, my Nana or my aunt, we're lecturing you about certain things, and we're keep on lecturing you about certain things that, you need to go forward as an adult. I don't want you to feel like that I'm lecturing you, because every time, we have these conversations. And I told my mom real quick, I said, Mom, I want you to shut down that right now. You are never lecturing me. For us to have a conversation, for you to give me support, advice, for me to help me grow and be mindful and help me certain things sink into my head of certain aspects that I need to grow in my adulthood, so I can be more mindful, more wise, more responsible when it comes down to certain things. Mom, I will never take that as a lecture. That's what I told her. And I was like, Mom, I give all the glory to God for you and our conversations that we have and how we continue to have this great communication with one another, how we get to talk about many different topics, how it doesn't weigh on us, how it doesn't weigh on me, that I get to talk to you about anything and spill my heart, or like if it's a rant on something or anything like that, how we have multiple conversations, how you help me grow as a child of God, how you're telling me to always keep God first, pray, take moments in different aspects and times to help me grow. Mom, I would never take that for granted. I give all the glory to God for you. I was telling her I appreciate you for all these things that you are doing, because it is helping me. It is helping me be more mindful. It's helping me to set up more of a balance within me growing in my adulthood. So my mom has always been open to me confiding in her, talking to her about anything. Like, my mom has never, really shut me down or bypassed anything that I was feeling. Maybe even something if I was feeling it like in the past and it's still affecting me now. I know my mom be super open, but there are some parents that want to tell their kids, oh yeah, let it go, this, that, and the third. And that's why there are certain children that put the wall up. Like, you scream out to your child, hey, you can be open with me. But if you're not showing that you're willing to be open and taking that first step in being open and having someone come up and talk to you, that makes so many people put the wall up. And you're wondering why do they have this big wall within them? And why do they put it up so much? It's because the simple fact of, dude, you have to understand, like, if you aren't going to be that person that they could come to without you being so automatically quick to judge or saying, well, get over it, or you're making this a big thing and this, that, and the third. If someone sees that something is affecting them emotionally, you should be willing to be like, hey, what's going on? And sometimes, even if a person does something wrong, And when they come up to you and talk about it and say how they're feeling and everything like that, yes, you can give, that person advice on how to be willing to, navigate that situation, but it's on them if they want to take it. But it shouldn't automatically be a whole judgmental, space. And then, it's so much judgment, and you're just not listening to them and not giving them advice when they need it, and be like, hey, here's how you navigate this. Here's how you learn from this. Because there are so many people that are so quick to judge when they have no room to judge. Because we are all imperfect people. Like I said before, we are all imperfect people. We all make mistakes. Like I say all the time, I'm an imperfect person serving a perfect God. I know I make mistakes. I know I've made mistakes. I know I've done stuff that I'm not proud of. But also still in the same sense too, it's all how you learn, grow, and evolve from it. And what if someone wants to come up to you and say, hey, what's some advice? But then you just shut them down or deflect off of it and just be like, well, XYZ, you should never did that, you should never did this. But you were there. So it's just like, how can you be so quick to judge? You might not have the same situation, but the feeling of what it could be like. Not technically the same situation, but what it could be like. But also in the same sense too, I'm just like, dude, why do so many people do that? And sometimes it is with parents, or with family members that just see this one family member, just going through so much and having a certain type of attitude, and they're just like, well, that's how they are, shoo that away, anything like that. But maybe it's something that needs to be talked about. Maybe the family, you need to come together and be like, okay, what's going on? What's wrong? Tell us what's going on. Tell us what's happening. And that's the first step in growing and evolving, in healing, in processing, everything like that. Because I feel like having that stable communication and having that one talk either with a family, friend, church family member, whoever it is, can have you take those first steps into your healing. Because you can't be willing to heal if you have this burden still on your chest. And I still say, personally, you can pray and ask God to, heal your heart, take that off your heart. But also still in the same sense too, first, always first ask God that first. Always keep God first, and asking that. But also, you can also confide in family, friends, anything like that, for them to help you in supporting you in your healing. Because just that one conversation can have take that first step, take that next step, keep going, and also you helping with your healing, keep going, and then you can take that burden off your chest and that weight off your chest, and the trauma can be healed. Because maybe there's sometimes when some family members have an unstable foundation, or your parents put you in an unstable foundation where you have certain traumas, and there are some parents that just don't know how to take accountability for that and just say, I'm so sorry for putting you in that space. I'm so sorry for all this happening to you and you building these traumas and me not be willing to be there for you. Because there are some parents who put their kids in unstable foundations, and they wonder why they grow up with all these traumas. They wonder why they grow up with all these feelings and emotions, and they are the way they are because they weren't able to fully heal. So how can you expect someone to be so open to you and that you just bypass it and you don't know how to take accountability for your own actions? And it's just like, well, they're just left there just hurt. So it's just like, what? That's kind of weird to me. Because sometimes, and like I said too, I was like, there's be sometimes when there are some parents where I look on some shows where I just be screaming to the screen. I would be like, just say I'm sorry. Just take accountability. Stop bypassing their feelings. You need to acknowledge how they feel. This isn't a whole big thing. And then you just be like, well, get over it. Dude, you see it's hurting them. They can't get over it. And if you're the cause of why they feel that way, then it's something called, hey, be open, listen, and then apologize. And then guess what? You guys can take the first step to both of y'all healing, growing step by step. Healing's not going to happen in a day, but it's just or you overcoming is you healing and overcoming something isn't going to happen in a day. It takes steps, but the first steps is being open and also listening and handling what needs to be handled. Because if you don't know how to handle that, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't know how to, navigate that, you have to be willing to be like, hey, sometimes there's just like some people that don't need a person to talk all the time. They just need a person to be a listening ear. Wrong or am I right? You just need people to be a listening ear. You don't need nothing else from that well, maybe you need, like a support system, but you don't need like really no other commentary. Yes, they might give commentary later, but it's just like, or advice later, but it's just like, you don't need any commentary about anything in the moment. You just need a person to just listen. And I would say me personally, I'm that person sometimes when my friends like come up to me and be like, I want to talk. I am that listening ear. And I even ask my friends after, I'm like, hey, well, would you want me to keep it real with you, or give you, what I think that you should do? Some say yes, some say yeah, but not right now, because you don't know where everyone's head is at. So that's why you're just like, okay, hey. But me as a friend, also me as a family member, like if any of my family members were to come up to me and like ask me on advice, but mainly sometimes I'm like going to other family members and ranting to them. But if anybody in my family were to come to me and tell me or talk to me or ask me about anything or how I feel or some advice, or maybe they just need a listening ear, I'm here. I'm that person to where I'm willing to be open to communication and be willing to talk. And if you need to just talk to somebody and say, hey, how can I navigate this? Or just a listening ear to help you heal, help you process everything, I'm here. And you should be willing to be that person, because you can't expect somebody to put their wall down if the first step you don't do is be open. You have to be open. You have to be a listening ear. And like I say on the topic of sometimes with parents, you have to be willing to be a listening ear and not keep the wall up. And so for you to be a listening ear, so your child or that person in your family won't keep a wall up so much. Because at some point that wall is going to break, and then you're going to be like, okay, what the heck happened? What is going on? Or people in the family are going to be like, what the heck happened? What's going on? Well, if you saw the sign straight in front of your eyes, then you should have been like, hey, I seen every sign. Cause you can't just be like, well, oh yeah, that's just them, or that's how they are, or what the heck is going on with you? Why are you wilding out like this? Maybe it's something deeper. There is always, and I feel like behind why everybody acts a certain type of way, there is always something deeper behind why somebody is either sad, upset, mad, pissed, or they act the way they act. Like me, I say all the time, with some other, like, say for instance, the example of like some teenagers who wild out or like do certain things that that we all know that isn't right, and they do certain things where their parents are just like, why are they doing this? Because even though we don't condone their actions or we don't like what they're doing, still there's a reason behind why they're acting the way that they're acting. And if they don't have nobody to come and talk to them and confide in them and just hear them, so they can confide in somebody in an emotional sense, and someone can support them emotionally and in their healing, then guess what? They'll still be the same way, and they'll still wild out, and they'll still keep that wall up and be so closed off. So you have to be willing to be open, because if you're not open, then how is somebody going to say, hey, this is a person that I can go to that will love, support me, encourage me, and empower me? And you just shut, or you just like, you can't be that person, or you just shut them down, or you tell them to let it go. Someone can't let go of something that they haven't fully healed from. And if someone hasn't fully healed from it, maybe you could be that person to help them out. But if you're not open and you're not being that listening ear or someone for them to lean on when it comes to friends, especially even family, like if you're not that family member that somebody can lean on to help them in their healing, especially even with parents, if you can't be that person that your child can confide in or be that support system or be willing to be open, then hey, no one can go farther in their healing, and you want everyone to be willing to heal from certain traumas, from things that are weighing on their heart, because you don't want someone to carry that burden or carry that weight on their backs every 5 seconds, and then you wonder, and then when they finally snap, you wonder why. You kept on shutting them down. Every time they come up to talk to you kept on shutting them down, saying let it go. But then when they finally snap, because someone can hold on to so much pain and so much anger and aggression, or their emotions, how they're feeling, but so long, because that wall can break real quick. And when it does, break in a lash out sense, real quick. And then you wonder why. But then when you go back to the time where you shut them down when they were trying to talk, confiding you, now you see why. So I always say, so my notion for today is, you want someone to be open, first learn to be open. You want someone to open up, first learn to be open. Well, that's my notion for today. And now it's on to top 3 with your girl, Nene. Y'all already know, me as a theater kid, me as a whole theater kid, y'all already know. I got to talk about some things that's going on within entertainment today. And my first notion for today is Hugh Jackman has found a new love in his life after his divorce from his wife, who he was married to for 24 years. They were married for 24 years. I actually loved them, like, together. Like, when I found out that he got divorced, I was like, oh my gosh. Because they were together for 24 years. They have children together. And it was just like, wow, that's super wild, because they were a great couple together. But hey, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But what I was reading in this article is that he has a new love that is going to be very familiar to so many different people, and that she was shipped together. So Sutton Foster, a Broadway queen, I love her, that's also been on stage with Hugh Jackman for The Music Man, saying that it may be allegedly his new love. And I was like, I would really ship them together. I was like, because actually Sutton, she just got out of a 10-year, like, she just got divorced, so she's out of like a 10 it was a 10-year marriage. Yeah, it was a 10-year marriage, so she just got out of that. And it's just like, whoa. I would ship them together though, because they are super cute. Because they are super cute together. So yeah, and honestly, they saying that's his familiar face that everyone knows, that I'm guessing that is his new love now. So hey, I pray that they're doing what, if they are in a relationship, hey, I pray that all goes well within it, because a lot of people downplay a lot of industry couples, but I was like, dude, there are industry couples, marriages that know how to keep the balance. There are many industry couples, husbands, wives, dude, like they are in the industry and they know how to keep the balance. They have a whole family, like including children, and they're still on screen, acting on stage, doing what they doing. So don't downplay that. So my next notion, Howard University's homecoming fashion show. Y'all, I was looking at some of the fits for their fashion show at Howard, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to make my transfer to Howard University, because man, going to Howard homecoming, I will be pumped, and the fits were everything. So I was like, man, I can't wait to when I graduate PG and then take my transfer over to Howard, because man, I'm already ready, because I was just looking, I was like, oh, I can't wait to just be on campus. I can't wait. I cannot wait. So yes, Howard University's fashion show, if y'all want to see them, man, y'all can easily look those up. Those fits were everything. Their homecoming, everybody stepped out, because, all universities have, their own homecoming. But Howard University's homecoming, man, they stepped out. They showed up and they showed out. And that's period. So, and my last and final notion, Matthew Law, if y'all know him as an actor, I would say, if a movie reference, I'll get back to you guys on that in a second. But Matthew Law is now joining the cast of Abbott Elementary for their 4th season. Honestly, I don't know who's going to be playing yet. I don't think I've seen it in, like, the when I was looking at the article. I don't know if I've seen it. But Matthew Law, he is now joining the cast of Abbott Elementary. If y'all if y'all want like a movie reference or a TV show reference, if y'all don't know who Matthew Law is, he was in Agents of Shield. And also he was in The Pains. Tyler Perry's The Pains. He was in Tyler Perry's The Oval. He was in the movie Tyler Perry's Fall from Grace. He's worked with Tyler Perry like, a couple times. And then he was in Agents of Shield. So yeah, he's gonna be joining the Abbott Elementary crew. So congratulations to him. He's gonna be joining that crew. So yeah, honestly I see him being on Abbott. Like, yeah, I see him being on Abbott. Because, that's a top thing for him. So, yeah, I see him being on Abbott Elementary. So, yeah. All right, y'all. So, that is top 3 with your girl, Nene. And also, that is all for my show today. Thank you so much for listening. I would like to give a huge shout out to Bobby and the Humanities Department. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts and my encouragement with everyone. Make sure you guys follow me on all my social medias. My personal Instagram being at Nene the Leap Year Baby. At Nene the Leap Year Baby. My Facebook, y'all can just look up my name, Nina Smith, NENASMITH. And my podcast Instagram is at Nene's Notions Podcast. So I will see you next time for another devotion. You guys stay tuned for another Nene's Notions. Bye, my loves.
You never leave a message on red. Always on my mind, you stay in my head. So I pray and meditate on every word you said. We all got the same 24 hours. When I'm in your presence, I'm empowered, yeah. Let your blessings rain on me like showers. Go to sleep, wake up, spend my mornings with you.